The 2018 Aston Martin DB11 is a blockbuster exertion following quite a while of low-spending endeavors from the little automaker. The DB11 replaces an auto that was developing old on the vine, and it specifically utilizes segments from accomplice Mercedes-Benz. That, and another stiffer case, make the DB11 an altogether current fantastic tour that sticks to Aston Martin's customary estimations of ravishing looks and primal sounds. We rate the 2018 Aston Martin DB11 a 7.4 out of 10, giving it focuses for its smooth and spry progression, its capable and furious motors, and its lovely looks all around. Styling, as an extraordinary auto, the 2018 Aston Martin DB11 is an announcement of taste and style. It's voluptuous, however thin, however lower, and more extensive than the DB9 it replaces. It's completely excellent all around, and there is no better method to land in style. We rate it a flawless 10. At the front, the low hoodline and button embrace the ground, and a vast grille opening goes up against the customary Aston Martin shape, which is among the sexiest in the business. The expansive clamshell hood is only one bit of moved aluminum, making a cleaner search for the whole front end. Execution, the 2018 Aston Martin DB11 offers willing V8 or V12 control, both with an unmistakable voice, vivacious great visiting taken care of, an agreeable ride, and solid brakes. We rate the DB11 a 9 for execution in view of these qualities. V8 or V12 control, both motors are new for this age of the DB. The V12 is currently a twin-turbocharged 5.2-liter unit that makes 600 pull and 516 pound-feet of torque. The V8 is additionally twin-turbocharged. It's a 4.0-liter motor from Mercedes-AMG, and it puts out 503 horsepower and 498 pounds-to-foot of torque. The two motors sit more remote back in the undercarriage than the DB9's motors, making better weight dispersion, and both are mated to a ZF-sourced 8-speed programmed transmission that can be moved by means of controlling wheel paddles. As far as motor execution, the V8 and V12 are for all intents and purposes a hurl up. The V8 pushes the DB11 from 0 to 62 miles per hour in 4.0 seconds, while the V12 does the deed in 3.9 seconds. The V12 bests out at 200 miles per hour, while the V8 can hit 187 miles per hour. The primary favorable circumstances for the V12 are in the identification and the sound. Security, the 2018 Aston Martin DB11 does not have the present dynamic well-being highlights and has no crash test appraisals. Without a crash scores, we can't give it a security rating. The DB11 is just too lovely to crash test, so neither US organization will do it. As a matter of fact, it's excessively costly and pitches excessively couple of units, making it impossible to crash test. However, we think any about the lab specialists would shed a tear in the event that they really needed to crash one. Standard well-being gear incorporates 8 airbags, an Encompass C camera framework, and front and back stopping sensors. Highlights, with valuing around $200,000 or more, the DB11 ought to be very much prepared, and it is. The inside is covered cowhide and the most recent innovation, however the infotainment framework comes affability of Mercedes-Benz. We rate it a 7 for highlights, giving it focuses for the decent level of standard highlights and the personalization alternatives that middle for the most part around hues and trims.